Good morning, you guys. Daily devotional. Today, I would like to chat about actually believing in Jesus. So I'm glad you're here, you guys. If this is your first time finding my video, this is the Straightforward YouTube channel. I post these daily devotionals, just one-off videos when I'm driving, when I finish in the Word, whatever. And I like to share my thoughts on what I'm experiencing currently in the world. So glad you're here. So today's devotional doesn't come from scripture. It comes from scripture, obviously, but it comes from just a concept that I've been thinking a lot about, which is actually believing in Jesus. And the reason I want to hit on that is because when you actually believe something, you actually like follow through with whatever the thing is. So like, let me break this down. The old cliche of like sitting in a chair, like, you know, you've heard the faith analogy. Well, you know, did you trust to sit down in the chair? Yeah, you had faith in the chair that it was going to hold you up. And it's like, it's kind of cliche and maybe a little corny, but also really true, right? You believe, like, you see a chair, you actually believe that it's built to withstand your weight. So you go and you sit down on it, you take an action, right? It's like, this is the whole faith without works is dead, because you're clearly not believing it because you're not doing anything. But I want to take it a step further of that. Like, if you believe that what Jesus did on the cross is real, if you believe that he's actually set you free from sin, or, you know, not that you'll be perfect, but like you're not a slave to whatever sin is ensnaring you so deeply. If you actually believe that his ways are better than your ways, if you actually believe that he has a plan for your life, you operate differently, right? You have to. There's no way you don't. This is why Jordan Peterson, I don't know if you guys follow, you know who he is or not. If you don't, go look him up. But this is why Jordan Peterson, I think, has really struggled, and he even said this, really struggled with stepping into being a Christian, being a believer, because he was like, do you guys actually understand what it means? Like, to be a Christian and to be a believer, like, it means you are giving up everything, because you actually believe it. And I think he wrestled with that because he knew the cost, right? When you know the cost of something, when you know it's going to actually cost you something, you think through it. You really process it. Sometimes I think, I mean, there is childlike faith where you're just like, well, I'm just going to believe. I'm jumping in the boat. Let's go. There's definitely that. But there's also that other side of it where you have to process, what does this mean for me? What do I actually believe? I listened to another guy on YouTube, Ruslan. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him, Ruslan KD. He does like YouTube reaction videos based on Christian culture and just culture in general. Golly, this sun that's reflecting bright in my eyes right now. But you know, he had Adam 22 on, or I guess he was talking about Adam 22. And Adam 22 is just kind of does some bad stuff. Let's just leave it at that. Sexually with his wife. It's weird. Anyways, what he said was like, he basically was like, I understand what this would cost, and I don't know that I want to pay the cost. Which is kind of admirable in a way of like, he actually understands it. He's not putting on a front. He's like, this is what I believe. I'm acting in accordance of what I believe. And this is what they talked about in the video. But I also understand like what this would cost me if I were to step into it. So he understands it. Now, obviously we want him to like turn from his ways, but again, this just comes back to the concept of truly believing. You know, like, do you actually believe? Anyways, I've just been challenging myself and thinking through this recently of like, do I actually believe? So yeah, anyways, just ranting. Hope you guys enjoy it. Challenge yourself today. Think through that process. You know, read the word, but ask yourself, do you actually believe what God said? Do you actually believe what Jesus did on the cross? Do you actually believe that his ways are better than your ways? Do you actually believe that if you give up every single thing in your life and serve the one and true King, surrender your life to him, capital S surrender, do you actually believe that if you do that, your life will get better? Not the prosperity gospel. I'm not saying you're going to get rich or whatever, but I'm saying you will feel more fulfillment. God will direct your path. He will put you where you're supposed to be. And even if you're not rich, even if you're not having some crazy success or whatever, your life will be better because you will be at peace. Do you actually believe that? Do I actually believe that? Something to think about today. Love you guys.